The crisis in Ukraine is turning deadlier by the minute. Thailand and Venezuela also brought to the brink by major demonstrations and protests. It's all making a lot of investors nervous. Marc Faber is the editor of the Gloom, Boom and Doom report. He's on the phone with us from Bangkok. And is this the kind of event that could lead to something far worse?
Yes, I think what it boils down to is that you have very large populations that haven't participated in the economic recovery or that are struggling, and then you have essentially a limited number of families and well-to-do people that are doing well economically, largely because asset prices have gone up very substantially, and also because of corruption in some countries. So you have a rising wealth and income inequality that then leads to social tensions.
We're seeing that somewhat play out in Thailand. I know some of the protests are over rice and a program there to distribute rice to the needy. I want to talk about why this has an implication for our, say, equity investments, the stock markets here in the States, because you've said that you expect a correction of 20 to 30%. Are these the kind of events that could trigger that?
There are two schools of thought. One says emerging markets are doing badly, so we have to invest in the U.S. market because that's the only game in town. And I take a slightly different view. If the emerging world does badly, given the fact that roughly 40% of global imports are into the emerging world, if the emerging world does badly, it would have a very negative impact on multinationals and on companies that are major exporters to the developing countries. And so I think that earnings will suffer, and we had many negative earnings announcements already. And in the U.S., what is remarkable is not only the huge outperformance with the emerging markets over the last 12 to 18 months, but also the fact that many stocks are down already between 10 and 15%, important stocks like GE, General Motors, Ford, and so forth, U.S. Steel, and the market is practically at an all-time high.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
Well, it shows that the advance is narrowing. In other words, there are fewer stocks that are very strong and pushing up the indices. And then you have, because of money printing and zero interest rates, a lack of capital spending, but corporations are cash rich because their earnings are up. And so they go and buy other companies. There's a lot of takeovers, mergers and acquisitions.
All right. Gloom, Boom and Doom editor Marc Faber, we appreciate your joining us on Fox
It's my
Business.
pleasure.
All the best to you, sir. Hey, we're just a bit